right, so this is going to be a pretty short one, a very general introduction about what NA is and what kind of separates us from some other 12-step fellowships. We are a nonprofit, international, community-based organization. We live drug-free lives and we help recover from the disease of addiction. We do meet around the world. You can see all the different service bodies that we have there. And this is, that number 76,075 weekly meetings was right at the beginning of the pandemic. We're not really certain what we have now. We know it's drastically less, but that's where we were beforehand. So we do meet in 91 languages around the world, and we have at least 56 languages published in our literature. Kind of what our focus is in Narcotics Anonymous, you can see, although politics makes strange bedfellows, as the old saying goes, addiction makes us one of a kind. Our personal stories may vary in individual pattern, but in the end, we all have the same thing in common, and the common illness or disorder is addiction. That's what we focus on in Narcotics Anonymous. We know well the two things that make up true addiction: obsession and compulsion. Obsession, that fixed idea that takes us back time and time again to our particular drug or some substitute, and that's really important, or sub-substitute. We'll get to that later. To recapture the ease and comfort we once knew. And then compulsion. Once having started the process with one fix, one pill, or one drink, we cannot stop through our own power of will. Because of our physical sensitivity to drugs, we are completely in the grip of a destructive power greater than ourselves. So you can see we are a 12-step fellowship. So in our step one, it says we admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. And so we focus on the disease of addiction in that. Now know as Narcotics Anonymous. We felt that now the addict would find from the start as much identification as each needed to convince himself that he could stay clean by the example of others who had recovered for many years. And that's a quote from one of our founding members, Judy Kennan, and that was written in 1965. We do a membership survey every couple of years. I thought you all might find this interesting. We have, I think, 28,495 was our last membership survey. And you can see that we have all these different things that we look for: age, gender, ethnicity, influences, meeting attendance, employment status. There's a lot of different stuff. Drugs used on a regular basis, and we usually do this every 2 years. We do online participation and at some of our large conventions that we do. The last convention we had was in Orlando, Florida. We weren't able to have our recent World Convention in Melbourne, Australia because of the pandemic. So this is a little bit behind, but not too far, just a couple of years. And as soon as we can get back to doing what we normally do, we'll have a new membership survey. Next slide, please. Here's some other pamphlets that might be helpful for those of you that are interested or research in mental health professionals. You can see Mental Health and Recovery, number 30. In this pamphlet, there are sections meant to help all NA members with challenges that arise, the decision to seek help, concerns about medication, and the stigma of mental health challenges, recovery, service, and supporting each other. The Another Look pamphlet is pretty interesting. That's number 5, and it says that's on the disease of addiction and our concept of that. There are probably as many definitions of addiction as there are ways of thinking based on both research and personal experience. We can find greater agreement on what addiction is not, and perhaps what it is may appear with greater clarity. The triangle of self-obsession, number 12, is we never seem to outgrow the self-centeredness of the child. We never seem to find the self-sufficiency that others do. Resentment, anger, and fear make up the triangle of self-obsession. All of our defects of character are forms of these 3 reactions. Self-obsession is at the heart of our insanity. And then self-acceptance, number 19. The lack of self-acceptance is a problem for many recovering addicts. The subtle defect is difficult to identify and often goes unrecognized. This is the contact information for the local NA community. It's nakentucky.com. Barkland.com is Bluegrass Appalachian Region. And that's basically from right here over. That's that service body. And the phone number goes for the entire state. And then here is some basic information. Leah's going to make sure that everybody gets access to this, because this link right here, resource professionals, I have it pulled up here, but she doesn't have it pulled up on hers. And it's got the membership survey, the pamphlet about members in medication-assisted treatment, for members who are in treatment, several different things. And then we have the meeting search at NA.org. That's our worldwide meeting list.